This video is going to explore plants that are deer resistant and going alphabetically with the botanical names L through Z. And as you can see, some of these plants are from families such as lavender, leptospermum, ferns, grasses. And I may not show all of them obviously, but I may show some that are just from families, and then you can kind of project that that family is deer resistant, such as an oleander and that type of a thing. So the biggest thing to be aware of with deer is there are very few plants that are hard and fast, definitely deer resistant. I'm showing you our best of list that I've developed over 25 years working with a lot of different deer areas. And I'm in Northern California in the United States, and what we find is that there are seasonal things where the deer have food in their native habitat and they're not as hungry, and they may or may not go after plants when they've got plenty of food. But in the fall and just before winter, when that food has been worked over, that's when we find them the hungriest, and that's going to vary depending on your seasonal fluctuations and how things grow in your area. But I think this is a pretty solid list, pretty reliable in our experience, and I hope that helps. As you can see, there is a lot of variety here, and as a plant designer, that's really important to have some nice choices with the plant material. Obviously, these won't all work in your area, but I think you'll find this a valuable resource. I certainly hope so. The other thing too is when planting, if a plant is deer resistant as a mature plant, it may not be as a baby. A lot of these plants build up oils in their system as they mature, and when they're young, kind of like a baby carrot, it's a lot sweeter than it is as a mature one. And plants are the same way, so if it's not outright poisonous, it may not taste that bad to the deer when it's younger. So we typically are using 5-gallon or larger material when we're installing shrubs, especially. If it's 100% deer resistant, then that's less of a concern. But just keep that in mind. Sizing is very relevant because as the plant gets older, it builds up the oils and they're more intense. And if it's something like a rosemary or a polygala, these types of plants taste worse as they get older. So I've seen plants we've put in right next door to mature ones. We've put in young ones and had them wiped out overnight because they were too young. So that was a lesson I certainly want to share with you, is think about that. Secondly, if you're not sure about a plant in your area, I recommend that you buy one of a decent size and set it out, and as long as that's not super expensive, and put it out where you know the deer are going to be, and leave it there for a week or so, knowing that they're getting a good look at it and a sniff of it, and see how they react to it. That's going to be, if you're about to buy 5 or 10 or more of these plants, that's worth doing a little investigating before you go spending all the money and have them wiped out in one night. So that's some advice on the deer. I hope these plants help. There's certainly some really beautiful plants that can still be used in heavy deer areas, and certainly in California we get a lot of that. Enjoy.